Alright, it's that time again. Jeep is asking for an oil change. Although we have a few other cars that are probably going to need oil very soon, and lots of it. But this is the wife's work car, the financial manager's work car. So we need to get on top of this post haste. The others can wait for a little bit. Now, we had a power outage last night, so excuse the generator out and about. We're going to cheat with this. I could put this up on ramps, crawl under, take the oil drain plug out and drain the oil out. But we are going to be cheeky today. We're going to use this vacuum pump and suck it out the dipstick hole. Mostly because I'm lazy and the apprentice wants to help. Or rather, I want the apprentice to help. This is something she needs to learn. She's going to be an adult one day. She'll need to know how to deal with it. We have ourselves a 10 litre tub of oil, which is 5W40, which is low ash diesel stuff. It's what this one asked for. And these Jeep Laredos are quite sensitive to oil viscosity. They even have a viscosity sensor that whinges at you, but it does have little hesitations and complaints. Some of the history with this too is it had problems with the DPF blocking up for quite a while. We went through a whole bunch of things, got mechanics involved. Then we changed the thermostat. Hasn't been a problem since. Alright, here comes the apprentice. We're going to go and get ourselves sorted and change some oil. There you go. Nah, it won't hurt your fingers. It'll go up. Yep, and then you push up. There you go. That's the lever you pushed across there. Now, a tip, most things that can be removed are yellow in this. So if you have a look over there should be something yellow. Now what the rag's for, use your finger to pull this out. You could hold the dipstick with the rag so it doesn't dip everywhere. Yep. Careful, yep. Okay, now let's check the dipstick. Slide it down, slide the rag down. Okay. And have a look before you wipe it, see how full it is. Alright, there you go, apprentice. Down the dipstick hole. Go all the way down till we hit the bottom. You'll feel it go clunk. That's a long dipstick hole. Wow. Alright, that's... How far does this go in?
I don't know.
Let's see. Oh, that's rock bottom there. So we're going to have only a little bit on the top of this. Let's do that.
Yikes.
That's right at the bottom. Okay. Once you've got some pressure in it, then you can let it go till it starts sucking oil out. Keep going. We're hoping to see some oil coming through here soon. This is why we get extra help. Oh, here comes our oil. Over we go. Okay. Alright, we have to change the oil filter once the oil's out. So this is draining at the moment. We need to pull this cover off, which just pops off. After that, we need to change the filter element, which is in a little plastic housing off to that side. We can't get to that without pulling this cover off. Okay, let's pop this off. It's just got little pop clips. There's our oil thing down here. That's our oil filter cover there. So I think we're going to have to take the air filter cover off to get to it easily off memory. So we might go do that now. This is a bit of a tricky vehicle. To get to the oil filter, we need to really take the top of the airbox off. To take the top of the airbox off, we need to take the mass airflow sensor connector off and the air filter cover off. Let's lift you up, pop you off. That's the top of our air filter cover. Okay, we have a 27mm wheel nut socket, which is ironically the same size as the wheel nuts on my Land Rovers. Can we just pop this? We'll just crack it gently. This is plastic, so we go gently and slowly. Hopefully my apprentice has dropped the oil level enough and there's a bit of negative pressure in there that we won't leak oil all over the driveway. Just finger untight this. There we go. We can lift up and out we come and try not to get oil in the air filter. Okay, we got interrupted for a minute, but we removed our filter from here and put it in the bucket and got oil everywhere doing it. The other important thing is this little seal here. We want to peel that off, run the fingers around there, and that will come off. In the box on the new cartridge, there should be another seal. So that's our cartridge. This is our seal. we're going to dip that in a bit of the old oil and just lube it up a little bit. That makes a huge difference to this whole assembly going back on. I'll show you, apprentice, here. See, we're putting the new gasket on. It goes in that little ring there.
That's so oily.
It is. Now what we do is we run your finger around here until it drops into the slot. Now this one has a little clip, and that just clips in the bottom like that. And you run a little bit of oil with your fingers around that seal as well. It all goes in a lot easier. For reference, apprentice, this is the old filter. That's all diesel ash that makes it turn black like that. So, alright, now we can put the filter back on. Okay, now apprentice, you can put the filter back in. You need to push the pipe out of the way. I can probably hold that for you. If you can get the filter in there.
This way?
It turns upside down, yep. And, yep. Goes in the hole.
Can you?
There you go. There we go. She's done it. It's a fine thread, so it takes a few turns to get in there. Right, if you reckon you've got it in and it's not cross-threaded, you can do this. Now, see this little lever? That's lefty-loosey and righty-tighty mode. In righty-tighty mode, lock the socket on the top, and yep.
Okay.
Now, don't tighten it up so tight that you break things off. Just go till it's firm.
Dad, help.
Yep. No, you can use two hands. Put one hand on this bit.
It's
Yep.
trying to grab it.
No, you don't. It's a ratchet. Pull it backwards. No.
Oh.
See? That's why ratchets are easy. There you go. All right. Ratchet this thing in. But it is plastic. Don't push it too far. Because we should normally use a torque wrench for this, which will set to a set torque. That's pretty good. That's all we need to do. Just tight enough that it doesn't leak. Now we can put the air box back on. Do you reckon you can work out how to do this?
No.
Okay, see, if you have a look, this will start to make sense.
Oh, in order.
You see how that bit goes on there? Yep.
I think I got it on.
Needs to wriggle on, go in, and then you will need a screwdriver. Righty-tighty. Tighten that up so it doesn't suck air past the air filter. Sometimes it requires two hands. Alright, so what this bit's for, you're asking about, so that is hydraulic oil, and there's a pump on the front of the engine. That's a hydraulic pump. When you turn the steering wheel, it has a big hydraulic ram that forces the steering one way or another. It makes the steering really light. You need to lean a bit further forward, get your, bring this over this way more. Yeah, do it like that. Alright, let's use your brain for a bit here. See if you can figure out what's wrong with this picture with these two things. See if you can work out what's going on there. You may need two hands for some of this stuff.
Oh my.
Okay, so put one hand behind that, and the other hand there,
Ow.
and give it a good wriggle. Yeah, maybe it might need force that I've got. There you go. Now this bit, I don't think the orange should be showing. Why don't we position that? Now, what do these bits do? Because this will just rattle off unless it's held down somehow. So, push it on the back, not at the top. Push it on the bendy bit. Yep. Use your thumbs. There you go. You got it. Good job. Now there's two more to do. Yep. Get your thumb on the back of it. That's your most powerful fingers. Good job.
Actually, no, I did this and this.
That's right. And there's one more on the other side there, which is a bit easier to get to. You're doing good. A lot of people have a hard time with them. So push halfway down.
This is harder to get.
It is.
No, you do this one.
Okay. So what you do, see how there's a curve on it? You push on the back of the curve, not the clip at the top. What that does is it makes the spring straighten out and it gets longer. Now you're pushing the clip on the top.
I hate
Push the bend on the back. I'll push it down. There you go.
So I said
So see, so I pushed here and not on the clip. This is why we put the air filter cover back on before we do it. Okay. Okay, so our vacuum pump is mostly full, so I think we're going to have to empty some out. Got an empty bottle here. You're up on the Argo, huh? It's all good?
Just like old times.
Yeah, we'll do some more Argo content soon. Right, I'm hearing some gurgling. We're nearly at the end. Alright, I think we're finally done. Let's extract this out. Throw that back in the hole. Goes all the way down to the rubber seal. And we will need this rag because we're going to check the oil level as we fill it. Okay. Alright, now the bit we've been all waiting for is putting fresh oil back in. We're going to start with the bottle that we already opened last time we did an oil change and use the last of this one first. Whoa. Whoa. So we can probably just go to town with all of this and then we'll add in what we need of the rest.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to hold it.
Okay, well, we're going to be tricky here and hope we can do this. We had to be quick. Alright. I think we're going to use most of this. There's about 7 litres in here and I think we got at least 10 litres out of this thing.
Honey.
So we're going to put most of this in, then we're going to check the dipstick. Alright, we are approaching minimum mark, so we probably don't need a lot more oil in here. Alright, let's just double check our oil. We were looking really good before. It's running down the dipstick hole, but that's what happens when you fill oil. All the way in, all the way down. It's a long dipstick. Alright, let's have a look here. We're on the high side a little bit, but we'll give it a turn over and check the oil after that. But I think we're pretty good. We can always suck a little bit back out if we have to. Alright. This needs to go back on somehow here. There we go. What do we hear here? This is our local mascot. How you doing, Mickles? Having a good talk? It's alright. He's always around with us. Okay, time to mess up the wife's seat settings. Because I'm 6'6". All the way back as far as it'll go, and then it's still not quite enough for me. There we go. Now, push button start. Foot on the brakes, push the button. Let's see if we get low oil warnings. No, the back's open, I know. Oil change due. And let's turn that off so we don't get copyright struck. We'll let this run for a couple of moments. Pump some oil through and hopefully get the wind out of the camera because the air conditioning's on. Let's have a look here. We appear to be below the minimum mark, so we'll come back and check that when it's been sitting for a bit. We'll add a little bit more if we need to. Alright, so now we do the oil change reset. We're going to do this with this little tool here. And a laptop. Shout out to my mate Waze who loaned this to me and I keep forgetting to return. Alright, in case you're wondering where the OBD port is, she's hiding way up under there. We're going to try the onboard reset, which is turning it to run, pushing the pedal to the floor 3 times within 10 seconds, and then turning the ignition off and on again. So, oil change due? No. Anyway, I've got one of these guys. I'm pretty sure this will do an oil change reset. The other thing I've never been able to do is, aside from my Nissan X-Trail, this bullshit with turning keys and pushing pedals never works. Okay, so ChatGPT for the win with Alpha OBD. I've got the paid software. So we set this to advanced mode, instrument cluster, Durango Dakota, and ELM 327, COM4 at 380-400 board rate. Then we went to active diagnostics. We selected the telltale for the oil and hit start. Let's see if it actually worked now. Stop. oil change due. It didn't work. No, I'm admitting defeat on the oil change counter reset. For some reason, I always have a problem doing that on these vehicles. There's what gets me, and this is the thing. You've got all these buttons, you've got an interactive display on here, and even shows you in text what's going on. It should be very easy to add into the menu a feature to reset it in the vehicle itself. But I think this is just malicious compliance, like, you know, guitar pedals that are a subscription service. They want you to come back to the dealership all the time. So I'm giving up, but we've done the oil change anyway, so we'll stop by the mechanic and get them to plug in one of their tools. But I'm left with a feeling that $40 was not worth it for that software. Alright, so just an addendum. I'm back at the desk at the moment, and there are actually 3 things that are for OBD I need to reset. I need to reset the oil change indicator, the service interval, and the time since last serviced. I've got to reset all of those, otherwise if any of one of those disagrees, then it re-triggers that light again. Probably why I'm having such a trouble. But anyway, the local mechanic is going to do it for us. He usually does it for free, so I'll give him a shout out if he does it for free. I'll put a link to him below. Anyway, catch you later.